Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, Senior News Editor with Retail Insider. Joining me today is Geena Jackson, who is creator, executive producer, and a judge on Bears Lair TV Series on APTN. Thanks for joining us today, Geena.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let me just start by asking you a little bit about Bears Lair. Can you talk about what that series is and what it's all about?
Sure. The series is an entrepreneur competition show, much like the Dragon's Den or the Shark Tank, except there's some twist to it. It's purely Indigenous, so it's just Indigenous core judges, Indigenous contestants from all over Canada. We don't take it's very uplifting. We provide coaching beforehand and we provide mentoring afterwards. There's no capital that's taken in the entrepreneur's business. They keep full ownership of it, and there's $180,000 worth of prize money to be won, including $100,000 for the winner at the end.
Okay, tell me a little bit about how this came about, this idea, and why.
I am my job is I worked for the Squamish Nation, which is the second largest nation in British Columbia, and I've worked with about 550 different entrepreneurs, and I found that every entrepreneur that I've worked with has a story. Everyone has faced adversity in some way, whether it's residual effects from residential school or something simple like not being able to get credit or capital easily like other entrepreneurs because of the Indian Act, where we can't have any assets on reserve. And there's just so many different levels. And there's so many talented people that need a national platform to show their goods or services. And the commonality amongst all of the entrepreneurs and my experience with 550 entrepreneurs is seeing that there's a problem and then creating solutions. So whether it's on a micro level, a grassroots level of on their own reserve or their own community, or helping people in general on a national, regional, national level or global level, that there's so many stories to tell. And from every province and from every region, there's all different cultures. And but the fundamentals and the values are still the same, which is family, which is education, which is knowledge, and which is uplifting each other. And I just felt that this was time for a program that was a feel-good program where everybody is a winner no matter what. And there is prize money for sure, but we like to call it co-opetition opposed to competition. And I think people are going to really see that in this show.
Okay, can you talk a little bit about the challenges maybe in the business and the business environment that perhaps Indigenous people face today or have faced?
I think a lot of stereotypes are going to be broken with this show. A lot of people that think that we're just carvers or we're beaters or or artists, which are amazing entrepreneurs in itself. But I think really showcasing where we can go as people. And I feel that there's just a lot of adversity that we feel in our own communities. And there's so many opportunities for entrepreneurs to move forward. There are federal and provincial grants. There's beautiful sponsors, especially ones that have supported this show, that have initiatives and campaigns that we can help. And going on BC Bid, or a lot of education is a pain point as well. Knowing how to access money, knowing the education that we need to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur isn't easy, whether you're Indigenous or any other culture, for sure. It takes risk, it takes sacrifice, and it takes a lot of support and belief in yourself. And I think this show is going to give people the platform that they know that they can take advantage of these opportunities by other people's stories.
I'm going to ask you about retail, for example, of an Indigenous retailer. Do you think that that it's people that are in that industry that have a store or some sort of a retail concept are finding it more opportunities to be in the I hate to lack of a better word, mainstream. And as an example, recently I was in Saskatoon, and at Midtown, the mall there, right downtown Saskatoon, there's a fabulous Indigenous store right in the mall. Do you see more of those opportunities being created?
I do. I think with internet and being able to sell our goods online, I think that's a huge platform, because to have a bricks and mortar store there's so much overhead, and then there's staffing, and then there's the markup and profitability that you make that's taken off from leasehold improvements and rent and what have you. So I think the way of the future is to have organizations like Shopify and of course Facebook Marketplace, and then having your own website and being able to promote yourself on that level.
Yeah.
That's the way to go to really promote yourself is online and social media. Bricks and mortar is great if you have the support, the financing, and you can have the inventory for it. So there's not many places that galleries can sell that retail line and vice versa. But I think that, internet's web-based businesses are the best now.
Okay.
Or pop-ups.
Yeah, and pop-ups as well. Yeah. Tell me when the series runs to.
The series started last week. It started on Sunday, September 11th, and it goes for 9 consecutive weeks. Where on November 6th, there will be a winner for $100,000.
Okay, super then. And tell me a little bit about yourself, Gina, and your background and what you do.
Sure. I'm a proud member of the Seashell Nation. My traditional name is Cetacia. Originally, I thought it meant providing for the community. That's what I was told. And later on in life, I was told it meant just bossy. So same thing. Very proud member. My whole background is supporting Indigenous entrepreneurs, working with companies as an economic development officer with the Squamish Nation, and vetting companies that want to do procurement with Indigenous companies and entrepreneurs as well. So really setting up and filling in the gaps, and just giving support on how to find additional funding for entrepreneurs, and how to work with industry so that we can get full support and we can have a seat at the economic table.
All right, super. Well, thanks very much, Gina, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
And please watch the show. It's every Sunday on APTN. Check your listing.
Sure will. I look forward to that. That was Geena Jackson, who is creator, executive producer, and a judge on Bears Lair TV series on APTN. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, senior news editor with Retail Insider. Thanks for joining us today.